What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron, and I was going to do this tomorrow, but I figured we have a bunch of trade news, or not a bunch, but we have the Carolina Panthers coming up, trading to go first overall. So I figured we could kind of talk about the fantasy implications here, run up a draft, see if any of the ADPs kind of shift on like DJ Moore, Justin Fields, any of the rookie quarterbacks, like I guess CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and just kind of talk through some things. If you guys have redraft questions, dynasty questions, and just kind of talk through everything that is new about the NFL. Now, if you are living under a rock, let's see if I can pull up the trade for you guys and stream it on the screen real quick. How are we going? If you're in here, let me know. I think we're going to be competing with a lot of live streams right now. I think that a lot of people are going live to talk about the trade. How are we? We got Trip Crown in here saying, yo, what's up? How are we feeling about Darnell Mooney? Not too terrible. Panthers got fleeced. Yeah, I honestly kind of agree. Panthers almost gave up DJ Moore as like a free throw-in in this trade. Let's see if I can pull it up for anybody out here that's living under a rock. Did Schefter tweet the exact package? Heavy compensation to move up like 8 spots here. Let's see. So for the number 1 overall pick, the Panthers move up 8 spots. They give up the number 9 pick, number 61 pick. So that's a second in 2023, a first in 2024, a second in 2025, and then just add a free DJ Moore on top of that. And DJ Moore is such a great wide receiver to trade for, like in terms of real life, because I think that he signed his extension before DK Metcalf and AJ Brown, so he didn't get like a really expensive deal or anything. He has a pretty affordable contract for such a good wide receiver. Like we saw last year, the market just get completely flipped on its head, right? Like Tyreek Hill got a huge deal, Devontae Adams got a huge deal, AJ Brown got traded and then got a pretty nice deal. So they got a nice price on a wide receiver 1. They get to fully evaluate Justin Fields as well. You have to surround your young quarterback with weapons so you can actually see if he is good as a passer. So we're now going to finally get that question answered. A lot of stuff going down here. What do we got in here? We got Max Sauce in here. Hit us with the updates. Panthers fan here, currently in shambles. You guys could have literally just taken Justin Fields. I said it. I know J.C. Horn's amazing. I said it back in 2021 when we were making videos, my Justin Fields video. I said every single team that passed on Justin Fields in the top 10, I believe it was the Broncos, I believe it was the Panthers. It was the Broncos, Panthers, and it was somebody else as well that passed on him. That made such a mistake because now you have to pay crazy prices to get a new quarterback. They don't even have like a team that's going to be really good around him, the Panthers. Like this is going to be a pretty like bottom level roster with a rookie quarterback. It's going to be a tough situation to thrive in. They're going to need to kind of figure things out on the fly here. What else do we got in here? Poor DJ Moore owners. I'll kind of push back on that, guys. I mean, what was the alternative for DJ Moore? He was going to get... This is what I don't understand. A lot of people are saying that DJ Moore's value goes down. DJ Moore was already suppressed in terms of his value. He was a third-round redraft pick in 2022. He was like a 5th rounder now. He was expected to have a rookie quarterback or like a veteran quarterback in Carolina. I don't see how going to Justin Fields, someone who was an elite passer in college, has had no weapons at all in the NFL, is now heading into year 3, could take a step forward as a passer. So, this feels a lot to me, kind of like Jalen Hurts last year, where people were like, AJ Brown gets traded from a bad situation in the Titans to a bad situation, but with uncertainty in the Eagles, and there's a lot of upside there. So if people are going to be down on DJ Moore because of this, again, I don't really see a passing offense manned by like Bryce Young, CJ Stroud in Carolina, or like Sam Darnold as an upgrade or anything to Justin Fields in Chicago, where DJ Moore is kind of like the lone target there. And we know Justin Fields threw a ton in college. He looked good as a passer in college. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that part of his game developed now, because they're actually investing resources into his receivers and into his weapons. CJ Stroud is what it seems like is going to go number 1. What else? We got Chewy in here. This is a disaster. Panthers now saying they're willing to trade down. Come on, that's not how that works. If Stroud goes to the Panthers, are you still taking him 1 102, given he has no weapons. Probably not taking Stroud 102 in rookie drafts, even if he goes first overall. Yeah, and the Panthers aren't going to have any weapons at all to unload on for a wide receiver. Yeah, exactly. DJ goes from Darnold or rookie quarterbacks to Fields. Like, I know it was a run-first offense last year, and I know that Justin Fields likes to run the ball. We have to remember, he was a damn good passer in college. Like, he still can improve, right? Like, and we saw, too, with Luke Getsy, where he evolved the offense on the fly, where he started to have designed runs for Justin Fields and play to his strengths. And, you know, maybe there's even more wrinkles he'll add on top of that, like more of a passing game, and, you know, you can start to do a lot of stuff off of that play action, and even just having a quarterback like Justin Fields that can attack via the ground. They're going to want him to pass more. They're bringing in weapons. It's all exciting stuff. I can't imagine like being so down on the Bears passing offense. I get it hasn't been amazing under Fields, but they haven't had any weapons. He's looked good on the ground. He was good at passing in college. I'd rather just sort of take the gamble there. Now, what we hopped on here to do is hop in a nice little underdog draft just to get the juices flowing. I usually do these streams on Saturdays, but I figured today, you know, we have so much going on right now. Why not do it today? Talk through the Panthers stuff, talk through the Bears stuff, and see if anything kind of materializes in this underdog draft. Now, we're going to hop into a big board draft here. You can do real money, $10 drafts this far out. Literally, the prize pool is $1 million. That was the same prize pool as Best Ball Mania 1 in like 2020. So this is an insane size for a contest this far out. You can draft players that are about to get drafted. $200,000 to first place. A lot to like here. We're going to hop into one. I don't know why things are kind of loading so slow. As always, promo code Ron. Hop in here. If you're new to Underdog, I believe it's linked in the live chat, the description, the comments down below. Click the link. It'll take you to a screen that'll already have Ron as the promo code put in, and it will match your deposit all the way up to $100. You can hop into 10 of these. Or no, if you deposit 100, get 100 back, you can hop into 20 of these big board drafts here. What else we got? High tides rise all boats. Amen, brother. I agree. I don't really see this as like a huge negative for Darnell Mooney. Like, Darnell Mooney was never, to me, going to be a number one wide receiver in the NFL. He now gets DJ Moore to soak up targets and sort of take things underneath in the flats, across the middle, and Darnell Mooney can cook as kind of like a flanker Z on the perimeter, you know, having a high ADOT, getting those targets and being fine. But I don't think, like, we talk about this all the time. Wide receivers aren't like running backs in that like a wide receiver coming in like then completely kills the other wide receivers behind him. That's not really how it works. Like, Chase Claypool went to the Bears and he didn't like all of a sudden get all of the targets because he was the only one in that wide receiver room. You earn targets. Yes, it's going to take a little bit away from Darnell Mooney, but I think the overall offensive efficiency is going to do really, really well with him there. Now, I hate to keep on drawing the comparisons, but it does kind of feel like it's a poor man's poor man version of the Eagles, where Devonta Smith is there. Devonta Smith's ADP goes way down because it's not his passing offense anymore. And I would almost say he produced really well, Devonta Smith, as the wide receiver 2 in that offense. Like, you can be efficient as a second fiddle, as the Robin to the Batman. Again, I don't think Darnell Mooney was ever going to be a wide receiver, like the leading receiver on a good passing offense. I don't think that was ever in the range for him. What else we got? Bears are going to be a hidden goal mine. I agree, man. I agree. I will be drafting a lot of the Bears. I love the haul they got, too. What, they get a second in this draft. They get the number 9 pick now, or they can draft, whoever they want, essentially, whether that be an offensive lineman or I hope it's an offensive lineman. Keep building around Fields. But they got a ton. What else we got in here? You're saying maybe the Panthers trade for D-Hop? They could, but I probably doubt it. I think that's a little bit too win now skewed for them. They can have Elijah Moore if they want. Lucky the Panthers still have pick 39. Yeah, they could take a wide receiver there. That's like the one silver lining on this deal of them getting absolutely fleeced is that, or not absolutely fleeced. I don't think it's awful, but they definitely probably lost that trade. It is nice that they gave up like pick 62 instead of pick 39. Panthers kept 39. Solid defense and left tackle. I think they have 2 good tackles. I could be wrong though. No, actually I'm wrong. But I think Aquanu was good. I kind of doubt that they go for D-Hop though. What are you doing with DJ Moore in Superflex Dynasty? I'm holding. It doesn't seem like anyone's dying to buy right now. It seems like a lot of people are souring on DJ Moore. They think, going to the Bears is like somehow a like huge downgrade for him, which I just don't really understand. So if you can buy DJ Moore right now for like the 112, or like if you can buy him for cheaper than you could yesterday, I would be into that. I will also say I wouldn't go out there and start moving mountains for DJ Moore. Like I think DJ Moore's a buy, but he's also the prototype of asset that I'm not ravaging through every single one of my leagues trying to get DJ Moore. You know what I mean? He is a perpetual wide receiver 2, could maybe be a back end wide receiver 1, but there's really no reason to like move assets or move first to try and get that profile, if that means. Like I think that he's probably undervalued, but his archetype of dynasty asset, I'm not like chasing after, if that makes sense. Like I think DJ Moore, like there's a huge tier right now in dynasty from like, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Marquise Brown, like literally that whole thing. I'm not paying up for any of those guys. I'll buy like Marquise Brown, Deontay Johnson if they're on the cheap. If somebody's now soured on DJ Moore because of the Bears thing and I can buy him for cheap, fine. But I'm not really going to pay sticker price for any profile that's just, perpetual wide receiver 2. They don't really move the needle for you in terms of wins and losses. I think that was a mistake that I was making early on when I was playing Dynasty, is like having these sexy wide receivers to go and, make offers for when they don't really help you win championships. You know what I mean? They're kind of just like pretty luxury wide receivers, I think. I would love Diggs here. Damn, dude. I keep getting this draft slot, man. I keep getting late first, and it's so ugly. Whatever way you slice it, man. I don't want Eckler. I don't really want Davante Adams. I don't really want first round. I don't want 108 A.J. Brown. I keep coming back to Jonathan Taylor here, man. I'm going to take Bijan. I haven't taken a first-round Bijan yet. Why not just get a different look with the 108? Now, I always say this when I do these drafts, dude. Like, gun to my head, I'm probably not taking Bijan. Gun to my head, I'm probably not taking Bijan in that spot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you say your life depends on this draft, I'm probably not taking Bijan, but I've done a bunch of these drafts. I haven't taken Bijan this high yet. Just want to get something different in terms of the texture. Who are you picking 102 in Superflex? Probably Bryce Young as of now, but really any of the big 3 quarterbacks. Just depends on where they go and what spots. Sauce Gardner's a man of the people, and I'm here for it. Shades of a better Jamal Adams. I'll be honest, he is encroaching on Jamal Adams territory with all of this, like, burning the cheesehead and, like, hanging out with Jalen Ramsey and stuff. I'm not sure I love it. This is a boomer fan take, so take this with a grain of salt, but I like that the Robert Revis like kept to himself, was a quiet killer. But, go get that bag, go make that content, do whatever, Sauce. I'm with it. Taking JSN at 103, 102, not that ridiculous now. I wouldn't love taking JSN over like top 5 rookie quarterbacks. It's tough. It's tough. If JSN goes top 10 and you can talk yourself into him being like as can't miss as Jamar Chase, then, damn, I would have loved Davante Adams there. So Josh Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, Garrett Wilson. This is such an ugly spot of the draft. I would have loved to have Davante Adams there. I guess give me Garrett Wilson, Garrett Wilson at 205 doesn't feel good at all either, man. I hate my draft, dude. I would have loved Davante. Would have loved Saquon. Would have loved CeeDee Lamb. I feel like there's just a huge, like, to me, none of these wide receivers stick out between Wilson, T, Devonta, Olave, Metcalf. I'm not dying to take any of these running backs in the second round either. I'm not dying to take a quarterback that, like, if I don't have Diggs, Kelsey, or A.J. Brown, I'm not dying to take any of these quarterbacks here at 205. The whole thing's just, it's not fun picking in the early second, man. Bears could get D-Hop, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know who are actually players in the DeAndre Hopkins market. Worrying things, the Bears have brought in 2 wide receivers now. It does not show much faith at all in Mooney, if that means anything. That's fair. I'm trying to think of the timeline of them bringing in Ryan Poles. Or is it Pole or is it Poles? I don't know. But it seems like Mooney was the previous regime, so that's a little bit dangerous for him. And was he hurt last year, Mooney? That's fair. I wouldn't say Mooney moves up or down for me, really. I believe Thielen was cut today. What are your thoughts on Rodgers to the Jets? It seems like it is very close to happening, but as a Jets fan, like I'm not trying to get my hopes up in any way, shape, or form, man. Someone give me a LaVisca question in here. Is LaVisca anything now? No more than like a last round flyer, really. No more than a last round flyer. I mean, LaVisca, like, I don't know, dude. LaVisca's so tough because he was like a decent prospect. He had a decent year 1, fell off the face of the earth in year 2. And then you also have like the Hasta La Visca stuff. I don't know. He's like a fun late round flyer, but that's really it. That's truly it. Panthers going to take Young and Stroud, and JSN going to reunite in Houston. That's a fun thing. It seems like Stroud is like almost damn near a lock to go to the Panthers now. But it is interesting because, I mean, like they could do whatever. It's not like they've publicly said like Stroud is going to be this pick. I think it's just on record that Reich really likes Stroud. Ayuk falls in that category now too. Amon-Ra at 11. Yeah, that feels high. Oh, give me third round. Give me third round Travis Etienne all day. I would have been down to take Brees, but I don't really need a like running back wide receiver stack there. I'm good on that. Even though like you're technically betting on the offense, I've kind of been more opposed to it recently. Especially when you think through it as like a 1 week season kind of thing. In those playoff weeks, you need single week like spike weeks, and if you have a running back and wide receiver on the same team, you kind of make things a little bit narrow. But you could also make the case that one of the two will probably hit. So instead of making the perfect and threading the needle, you can kind of throw a bunch of players in the same team at it. What else we got in here? Yeah, Amon-Ra at 11 did feel high, I will say. Like, I wouldn't take Amon-Ra over Devontae, Lamb, Taylor, Saquon. But I would probably take him, like, right around here, though. I would have been down if he, let him fall to me. I'm going to put my thing up here. I think that might work. Might work a little bit better. What else we got? I think it'll be Stroud at 1, Young at 2, AR at 4, and Levis at 7. It's just it's tough to predict right now without there's going to be trade ups too. Who picks second right now? We have Houston in second. Man, this is Burrow way past his ADP, but I'm really not even that interested. Justin Fields already go. Wow, so Justin Fields went 312. Not that far past his ADP. Man, so he doesn't take Andrews. I could take an unstacked Burrow. Burrow is 8 picks ahead of Lamar, and I'd almost rather just Lamar straight up. But let's do a running back heavy draft. Let's go Ramondre, and we'll kind of go hyper fragile here. Cut it off at like 5 running backs and see see what's popping. What else we got in here? Lamar market will pick up now, I'm sure. It felt like a lot of teams wanted to make that trade. Yeah, that's true. Now that 101 is kind of accounted for. I'm not sure. The Lamar stuff is very weird. It seems like teams as well, especially the ones that are picking the top 10 in 2023, will wait until after the NFL draft to try and make a move at Lamar. Because the way the rules are, if you make an offer for Lamar, you have to give up 2 firsts. I think teams would rather give up a 24 and 25 than like a top 10 and 23 and a 24, if that makes sense. What about JSN at 9 now and Fields with 3 wide receivers? I would love it. I think that would be really cool to reunite Fields with JSN. I'm honestly hoping for that, but I doubt that happens. I will say though, I think isn't JSN's best year with Stroud? I think so, right? Like I think JSN's second year was with Stroud. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes because that was Wilson and Olave's final year, and they came out last year. Maybe he does kind of have rapport with JSN. I know that he came on. I listened to his Part of My Take interview, Justin Fields, and he actually brought up JSN as a name that he liked. You're a Panthers fan, currently in shambles, bro. You were in quarterback purgatory. You get the pick of the litter. Be happy. That's fair. That's fair. You probably should be happy if you're in first overall. This is a good quarterback draft class. I don't know. What else we got in here? Laviska in the CPAT role 5 years from now? Yeah. Laviska's going to make his way to running back. I'd be playing him at running back all day if he was on my squad, but... Is this Dynasty? No, this is redraft. This is a 2023 redraft league on Underdog. Somehow, some way, they already have drafts going. I'm going to zoom things in a little bit. Somehow they have drafts already going for 2023. We have rookies in here. We got everything in here. It's amazing. Love the Garrett Wilson pick. Literally, if anyone besides Zach Wilson's throwing him the ball, he's going to be good. Yeah, I agree. Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson would be so sweet, dude. I will say, I think that there's a chance that Elijah Moore is in that Aaron Rodgers trade package, man. I think there's a very good chance that he's in there. I don't know that would be a good thing for Garrett Wilson, but it's just my gut feeling. You think there's a chance Panthers take Richardson at 1? I'm going to say no shot. If Richardson was a guy they liked, I think they would have probably sat tight at 9. Got Trevor Lawrence and Watson and the 102, 104, and 106 general strategy takes. Probably push some of that draft capital forward into 2024. You have T-Law, Watson. Probably, ideally, I would want to push one of those into 2024, but I don't think just taking, best player available is ever a bad idea. I've kind of in the past, I've been more about the idea of trading first when you're on the clock for veterans. I think it's probably a bad idea. Trading a first for a known commodity. I know it feels good at the time, and I've done trades like that, but you can get some really, really ugly outcomes if you pass up on the upside of a pick. Usually they don't even lose value. Whoever you take usually doesn't even lose value heading into the offseason. Most times you're better off just sitting in the pocket and making that pick. I have one trade, a trade nightmare that I did. This is in a Patreon league, and I traded away. It was the 106 and the 109 or something. Ended up being Najee Harris and Javonte. I traded away Najee Harris and Javonte, and in return, I got Chase Claypool, Cortland Sutton, and a future first. And it felt really good at the time. Those wide receivers were valued highly. Now, since Javonte and Najee have kind of fallen off a little bit, it's not as terrible. But there was a time there where both of those guys were top 3, top 2 round startup picks. I think even if the value looks even, there's so much more opportunity to gain value on the pick side than the veteran side when you're trading those early, those 102s, 104s, 106s. So that's something that I've kind of learned. you're probably just better off sitting in the pocket and making those picks, unless if you're trading for future draft capital. But trading like early, unless if it's for a quarterback. I think if you're trading like the 102 and a piece to go get like Justin Fields or something like that, I think that's a great move. But you're already good at a quarterback. But I think it's very dangerous to take one of those picks and like trade for a veteran wide receiver or something. Unless if it's like has to be an elite asset, I guess would be the caveat. Give me Mike Evans, I guess. Give me an automatic 1,000-yard receiving and crazy spike weeks in best ball, I guess. I don't know. You guys get what I'm saying, though? I don't know. Boomerang, yes, sir. Yeah, JSN's best year was with Stroud. But I'm sure Justin Fields would have, like, I'm sure he would love having JSN, but. What else we got in here? Bijan to the Bears would be nuts, but it'll be an OT. Yeah, I doubt that they use number 9 on Bijan. I doubt it. I also doubt that they roll with just Khalil Herbert going into the year, though. I think they probably sign somebody or take somebody like day 3. I don't understand why the Panthers wouldn't just give the 2 firsts and pay Lamar. It's a good question. What it seems like is nobody wants to pay that fully guaranteed contract that he wants. And then you also run the risk of like sending the offer out and then the Ravens could just match it, and you kind of went through all of that for no reason. You have to push off like wanting to trade up to number 1. They also probably like see in their head the vision of having a quarterback on a rookie deal, which is huge for like championship building. You have a new coach coming in. Like he probably wants to start everything clean slate instead of like sign a Lamar Jackson and kind of try and make a playoff run on the fly. Then reset the wide receiver while you build around your quarterback. Yeah. You'd move 102 and 104 for the 101. I don't know that I would do that. I don't mind the idea of if you're in the spot with elite quarterbacks, the 102, 104, 106, and trying to find a way to get up to the 101 and, you know, just snag Bijan if you're ready to compete. Who do we have going off here? I imagine DJ Moore's been picked at this point. So DJ Moore went 37th. Oh, so a guy hit a Justin Fields DJ Moore stack. That's pretty, man. Respect to this guy. I wish I could have done that. He even took JSN in case if they take JSN. I thought that was his thought process, but just because we were talking about it earlier, I think that's pretty funny. I ordered Chipotle before I hopped into this draft. I'm just making sure if it's coming through. I'll take Goddard here. Like 15 picks past his ADP. Round 7 Goddard. I can't do it. I can't do it. Give me Quentin Johnston. Round 7 Quentin Johnston is very fun. That's very palatable to me. I think his ADP probably rises by the time he gets a landing spot. What else we got in here? Charb to the Bears. I wouldn't hate it. Kind of has that like similar David Montgomery type build. Yeah, a lot of talk about like players association versus like owners and the guaranteed money. I really don't know how much substance there is to all of that stuff. Smart guys that I know are telling me not to listen to that. But I have heard like the overwhelming majority of people say, you know, owners hated the Deshaun Watson contract, someone with like escrow. I don't even know what escrow is or if I'm even saying that correctly. A lot of things going on. I don't understand why Dallas Goedert's fallen so far in this draft. Somebody just took Evan Ingram over him. I don't know. What else we got? I missed the beginning of this. Is this Dynasty or Redraft? This is Redraft on Underdog Fantasy. The biggest and one of really the only sponsors for the channel. use my promo code Ron when you sign up on Underdog. I have a link in the live chat, the description, the comments, all of that. You click it, it'll take you there. It'll match your deposit up to $100, and you can hop into these drafts. They are real money 2023 fantasy football drafts, and the prize pool is pretty crazy for a draft this far out. $200,000 to first place, $1 million in total prizes. I'm going to try and max enter this. We'll see. I don't want to take any of these quarterbacks here. None of these wide receivers are that appealing to me, though. Do we like a Cortland Sutton bounce back? I might just take Dak. Like I don't like taking Dak. Man, I don't like taking Dak at all. I'm going to chill on Dak. I'm going to chill on Dak, and I'm going to go Sharp. And I'm going to hope that he goes second round to a juicy landing spot and ends up as like a 5th round pick. Would have made sense if they traded all that for Caleb Williams, but not Bryce or Stroud, in my opinion. I don't know. Those are the Bryce and Stroud in terms of real life football. They are damn good prospects in terms of real life football. And I think it probably would have costed more to go up to Caleb Williams next year. And I imagine whoever's in first overall is probably already going to take a quarterback there. Like, to me, that looks like a Trevor Lawrence situation where I don't think any team is moving off of that. Unless if somehow, some way they have a quarterback. But I don't know. You'd have to, like, I think any team that ends up in the first overall spot probably takes a quarterback there. Do you think KJ Osborne is set up for a big season after Vikings cut Thielen? No. I'm never one of these guys. We talked about it earlier with, like, Darnell Mooney. Like, wide receiver isn't running back, right? When Adam Thielen gets hurt, you're not, like, sprinting to the waiver wire to pick up KJ Osborne. Maybe he gets a slight boost, but I think that's going to be priced in already. Everyone's already going crazy about KJ Osborne. I'm chilling. I mean, the Vikings are a very smart organization. They have some like Moneyball type guy. I can't even think of his name. It's like Quasi something. He's their GM. I imagine he addresses wide receiver, probably drafts somebody on day 2 to kind of give Osborne some kind of competition there. I think the time to buy KJ Osborne was before Thielen got cut, to be honest. Got this in my inbox, Ron. Ayuk for a 24 first and Mooney. I probably take 24 first side. I wouldn't. I don't think I would trade away. I don't think I would trade away Mooney in a first for that. I don't think it's a big enough boost, even as a playoff team. Do you pay extra for the guaca Chipotle? Hell no. Escrow's when you have to put the guaranteed money away when the contract is signed. What a weird name for that. Escrow. Yeah, I agree. Lifeboy JB is going crazy, dude. I do absolutely love the Fields to DJ Moore stack. Got Goddard way past ADP. He knows what he's doing. If Andy Richardson goes to Indies, does that affect your thoughts on Taylor? Not really. Like, I guess it's a slight boost because rushing quarterbacks do better with, it would boost his efficiency, right? It would be a pretty crazy, like, rushing engine, especially if that offensive line gets any kind of positive regression. Like, you do have Quentin Nelson on that offensive line. It should be better than it was last year. It does take away his receiving ceiling, but that was never really how you were going to get fantasy points with Jonathan Taylor anyways. So, to me, it would probably just be, a wash, I guess. Like, I think it would limit his receiving ceiling, but he could average, like, 6.5 yards per carry in an offense with Anthony Richardson. How do these underdog leagues work? You have to set your lineups every week, etc. These are I probably should have said it, but these are best ball leagues. So it just takes your best lineup every week. You don't have to set it at all. It's actually pretty much perfect. I'm just looking through who I should be taking here. Give me Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson. Is Aaron Rodgers still available? Oh, my God. Please let me get the Elijah Moore, Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson stack going. Why not? When's our next pick? 113. We'll reach a little bit on Rodgers if he's there. Let me show the draft board. In a 10-team Superflex start 10, you have a bunch of players. You have the 102 to start up. Is it Superflex, dude? You have the 102 and it's a startup? What do you mean it's a startup? You have the 102 and it's a startup. I don't really understand what that question is, but I would not take Gibbs, JSN over the quarterbacks. Even though you're pretty much set at quarterback, I would either trade off with a pick, and if you can't, I would probably just take one of the quarterbacks. I'd probably just go with Richardson, Bryce Young, Stroud. I will say, man, and I don't mean to pick on you, G16. I think this just kind of comes for anybody that's like asking me rookie draft questions. Like, we're so far out, guys. Like, I imagine your rookie draft isn't until after the NFL draft. You really shouldn't have a name attached to your rookie picks right now. Right now, those are coins in your bank, those rookie picks. But I'd be looking at the the quarterbacks, but it just, it really just comes down to where players get drafted and everything. Oh, you'd be getting the, oh yeah, give me the 24 first. My bad. I would take 24 first side all day. If I could sell IU for 24 first and Darnell Mooney, I think I'd be very much into that. Now, I know Kirk Cousins and all these other quarterbacks are like higher up than Rodgers. Man, should I try and see if Rodgers will come back to me at 128? I'm going to see. I might just take Kirk here. Do I have any stacks that kind of set that up? No. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that haven't been taken yet. I might just chill and let these guys take whatever quarterbacks they want and just take Josh Downs instead. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take Josh Downs and I'm going to risk it. I know that probably wasn't smart, guys. I know. But there's literally 4 quarterbacks ahead of Aaron Rodgers right now. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. I think we can get Rodgers to come to 128. If we can't, then I screwed up. We'll see. It was probably a dumb move. Yeah, I didn't want to take Rodgers too early either. What else we got going on? Is there a waiver wire or anything in these leagues? No, you just draft your team and then it sets the best lineup every week. It's sweet because you can just draft these teams. Oh, this guy took Aaron Rodgers, bro, over Kirk and all those guys. You already had Dak, man. You already had Dak and you don't even have anything to stack to Aaron Rodgers, dude. Insane. Insane. How? Why? Why would you do that, man? I knew I was trying to get too cute, man. I knew I was trying to get too cute there. God damn. Why take Aaron Rodgers there, dude? There's like 4 other quarterbacks on the board. Guy doesn't even complete a stack, man. Yeah, he almost got the Mooney, DJ Moore, Justin Fields stack, which is pretty sweet. What else do we have going on, fellas? Let me know if you guys got any questions, any trade questions in Dynasty, college basketball bets. What's going on, fellas? Key me in. Hey, my DoorDash my Chipotle is pretty much here. You got Rodgers all the way at 145, dude. I knew that there was a good chance he would come back to me, man. And now all the quarterbacks are falling. Or all the quarterbacks are going, I meant. I'm screwed, dude. CJ Stroud still hanging around. I'm screwed at quarterback. We'll probably just throw like 3. Man, we just have 4 running backs and 6 wide receivers here. I don't know how I'm going to land this. I don't know how I'm going to land the plane at all. I also wrote the tight end process model outline today. I'll probably record that on Sunday. Working on a Dynasty Rankings update. Should be done with that tomorrow. All right. After this pick, I'm going to grab my DoorDash and bring it inside. What else we got? Who do you have winning March Madness? I don't know. I'll have to see. I really have to see the bracket first, man. I really have to see the bracket first, but gun to my head. Let me see real quick. I'm very curious to see like ESPN bracketology. By the way, I think if everything goes to plan, you guys should have a March Madness video on Monday from this channel. I did one last year and it did pretty well. Where I kind of go over, fill out a tournament. I'd say Kansas is probably the obvious team to win it. You know what? Give me Russell Wilson, I guess. I don't think I have any Broncos to stack with him. I think we can make that work. I really do. Are there any Broncos? Okay, we could get Dolchich in here. Tim Patrick is kind of fun. KJ Hamler is kind of fun. All right. I'll be right back. Oh. It's like snowing / raining by me. Just an absolute mess, dude. I got like water all over my hair. Whatever. We keep it moving. We're out here. What do we got here? You guys asking some good questions. Yeah, who do I have winning March Madness? I do want to give you a decent answer on that. I like UConn. I like Kansas. These are just early leans, I would say. I like Gonzaga, to be honest. This might be a year where like a 6 seed wins it or something, like a 7 seed. Yeah, but I would have Kansas as like overwhelming favorites. What else? What position do I think Chicago takes at 9? Probably tackle. They'll have their pick of, Skoronski is kind of like a tweener, so I would say like their pick of Skoronski, Paris Johnson, Broderick Jones is kind of how I see that shaken out. If not, I don't think they take a wide receiver at 9. I think that they're trying to build the right way. Maybe they could take an edge. Like they could maybe beef up the defense. Their defense was awful last year. It really just depends on how much help they think Fields needs after getting DJ Moore. Offensive line help would be good though. He did take sacks. I mean, some of it was him holding the ball too long, but how would you go about getting RBs and a 0 RB coming out of a rebuild? I would draft them in the rookie draft. 3rd rounders, 4th rounders, 2nd round, like those rounds especially, just send flyers on running backs. When you're making trades, you can put, bench guys in the back end of the deal. Like you can do a normal trade and then usually with like no hesitation, like if somebody, instead of throwing like a random 3rd in there, dude, like you can just put in like at the back end of a deal, Cordell Patterson, McKinnon, Jeff Wilson, Hubbard, Pierre Strong, Clyde Edwards-Helaire even is probably available for pennies these days. Like you can get a lot of these like bench type 0 RB guys. I rarely come out of a rebuild out of 0 RB and just start paying up for running backs. What I did do in a league that I won with patrons this year is I had a 0 RB team that was doing well. So then like mid-season, I ended up trading for like Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey. You can do that. I wouldn't do it before the season coming out of a rebuild with a 0 RB team. Damn, and somebody took Dolchich? Man, that's tough. I might take Zeke and never take another running back, but I'm going to chill for now. I'm going to go Lazard. Lazard's like a free agent that it seems like I've heard his name linked to the Chiefs, which is fun. I really have to start worrying about quarterbacks soon as well. You could have made the case that should have been Bryce Young, but we'll see. I'll probably go 3 quarterbacks and 4 tight ends, to be honest. Something like that. Hopping in my first Dynasty Startup League. We're doing IDPGs, dude. That's a nightmare, bro. I got to be honest with you, Sam. I don't play IDP, and if I was hopping into my first ever startup, like I wouldn't be doing IDP. Um, like IDP is over my head. Like I don't know. I don't like I know the top defensive guys, but after that, I'm completely lost. Seems like Zay Jones ADP at 117 is way too low. Probably not. Probably not. It's probably just fine. That's probably fine to me. Just because they're bringing in Calvin Ridley now, like he probably gets squeezed out a bit. Like before the season, he wasn't really anything all that special. Do you want to see the Jets cut? I want to see both of them cut. To be honest with you, the Corey Davis price tag is tough, man. I think I would be down to cut Corey Davis. I think I'd be down to cut Corey Davis and just draft somebody new. I think he has like a 10 million cap hit. I'd want him gone. I want Carl Lawson gone. Get both of those guys out of here. Would love to find a way to either restructure or trade away Tomlinson and Mosley. I love Joe Douglas, dude, but the cap is a little bit tough right now in terms of the Jets' pockets. What else we got? Yeah, I agree. One of those vets probably works. I would just hold off on trading for the vets until midseason because you can be in the playoff mix with just simply piecing it together. Like I honestly made playoff pushes with like zeros at running back where I was starting, I mean it looked good towards the end of the year, but early on like just like Jerick McKinnon, you hope that you get some guys like that get hurt, like you have lottery tickets just stocking up on running backs on your bench. Oh, give me Bryce Young here. I don't know if his price is falling because people are like, oh, he's not going to go first overall. Bryce Young is still a stud. I'll take him there. What are my opinions on Treylon Burks? Low-key panicking over him, but everyone seems positive. He has a really wide range of outcomes, Treylon Burks. I'm of the opinion that if a guy had a good prospect profile and he, had a decent year one and is heading into year two, that's probably a bet you want to make. A lot of year two wide receivers do pop off. I wouldn't be moving mountains for him or anything. Everywhere I have Treylon Burks, I'm holding on to him. I think he's like a fine redraft pick in like the 8th, 9th round. I'm trying to think of like what he reminds me of coming into year two. But yeah, I honestly I get not being super positive on him. Like he didn't do anything crazy last year, but you have to remember like he had Josh Dobbs at quarterback for a while. Assuming he gets Tannehill for like a full season, I think he'll probably be fine, but it is definitely worth questioning. What else we got in here? Move the 106 and Jamison Williams for Drake London. Man, I don't hate that, but I probably wouldn't. There's a good chance that whoever you take at the 106 is like, and it's not that London's undervalued right now. He's worth like a 4th round startup pick. There's a chance that 106, whoever you take there, is like also worth a 6th round startup pick. So I don't know that I would pay Jamison Williams to close that gap. But it's probably fair price. I don't think I would do it. Like I was talking about it earlier, I'm just very hesitant to trade those like early to mid first for anything but like elite quarterbacks. I think London's a decent thing to trade for, but you're given that 106 and Jamison Williams has a lot of outs to really crush your London. Thoughts on the Miami running backs? Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson had some decent games. It's really just that they're probably going to add to that room, and I wonder if either of them are. I wonder if either of them are free agents. Like I should probably know this. Let me see real quick. Yeah, Jeff Wilson's a free agent, so that's an issue. Um, and then I think Raheem Mostert's probably on contract now. But just the idea that they're gonna add something. They're gonna draft somebody or but I do think that they're both really cheap. Like I would say that they're both kind of buys in Dynasty as just guys you can throw in the back end of deals. Um Actually Mostert also a free agent, it looks like. So I don't think either of them are actually on the Dolphins right now. I could be way wrong. Both of them say UFA in 2023 though, which it's 2023. They're still Miami here though, so I don't know. Anybody want to clue me in on that? I'm so bad with the cap stuff and free agency. We need to address tight end soon. I could take my last. I think that we'll take Damian Harrison. That'll be our last running back here. We'll cut it off there because I want to go 3 quarterbacks, 4 tight ends. So that's how many more picks do we have? Let's be calculated about this real quick. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks left. We have 6 picks left. So we have 6 picks left. 1 has to be a quarterback. 4 have to be tight ends. And I probably would like to spend 1 on wide receiver. I don't think we really need another running back that bad. Our wide receiver room isn't all that pretty. Or should I just cut it off at 7 wide receivers? And we took 1 second round. We took 1 5th round. I'd probably want to take 1 more wide receiver, but it's going to be close. Yeah, somebody said, like, I guess if you have time, I'll keep peppering questions. Dude, hit me with whatever you got, dude. Hit me with whatever you got. I'm not trying to just chill on here quietly and draft a team, you know? I'm down to just talk about whatever. Someone let me know. Anybody out there that's, like, more hip to free agency and stuff? I'm pretty sure. Am I an idiot? Like, why does it still say that Raheem Mostert's a Dolphins running back yet? I think that he's a free agent. I feel like I'm really exposing myself right now that I can't figure this out. Yeah, Raheem Mostert's a free agent. And so is Jeff Wilson. Okay, I'm not an idiot. They're both free agents. I don't know why I was second guessing myself. Traded the 104 and DJ Moore for 110 CeeDee Lamb like 3 weeks ago. I think that's probably fine. I don't love it, but I think that's probably fine. How do you change your strat between half and full PPR, and is there a way to get into a league with you this year? If you join the lives, like when I first go live and you put notifications on, you can hop in these underdog drafts with me. I do Patreon leagues, or if you're in the Patreon, we do redraft leagues, dynasty leagues, all that. And finally, like I do high stakes leagues in the off season. If you're smart about it, you can time it up so that you're in a like redraft managed league team with me or league with me. Dude, I kind of like Sam Howell here, dude. Quarterback kind of falls off a cliff the rest of the way. Could go. We got to start drafting tight ends soon. Give me Sam Howell. I'll take Sam Howell. That'll be our last quarterback that we need to draft here. Could be talking to Trey McBride. Could be talking to Likely, Bellinger. Like I said, we'll probably take 4 of these tight ends. I'm trying to think as well. Like I said earlier, I don't think we need another running back, man. Bijan, Etienne, Ramondre. We spent a first, a third, and a fourth on a running back. So this would be like 2, 3, or 3, 5, 8, 4. I think that works. So I'm gonna click off of running back for now. But how do I change my strat between full PPR and half PPR? Not by a ton. Honestly, not by a ton. Like I guess I'd be slightly more willing to be like running back heavy in half PPR leagues, but that's really about it. Gibbs to Miami would be sweet. Honestly, any of these rookie running backs to Miami. Sharp to Miami would be sweet. Sean Tucker to Miami would be sweet. All of it. Brock Purdy or Hendon Hooker in Dynasty? Probably Brock Purdy. Just because we've seen him ball out. He's probably younger than Hendon Hooker. And he's on the 49ers, who just, make quarterbacks look much better than they are. Yeah, both Miami running backs are free agents. My bad for like going on and on about that. I couldn't figure it out. Percent chance either. I think Lance starts week 1. Like I would put at like 90%. Ritter starting week 1. I'd probably put at like 50%. Rate this dynasty wide receiver core: London, Waddle, Burks, Olave, Claypool, Kadarius Toney. Like I would say like A-, B+. I'd say it's pretty solid. Man, I might just take MVS here as our final wide receiver. I wanted to kind of get some correlation. Denver, Washington. Wow. So Tim Patrick goes anyways, I guess. Dude, I think I have to go MVS. No, I don't. All right, let's go Trey McBride here. We'll go Trey McBride and kind of see what happens after that. We need 1 wide receiver, 3 more tight ends. I don't know. I don't love how this team is shaping up, dude. The tight ends are looking rough at this point. Let me actually kind of get some stacks together here. We need Broncos. We could potentially go with like Albert O late. It's not very sexy though. We could go Washington. Still have Logan Thomas. Yeah, we could go Logan Thomas late. John Bates too. All right, we got some ideas. What else? How are we doing, fellas? We got any plans for tonight, Friday night? Any of you guys getting after it or what? I'm trying to think of how the hell am I going to land this plane, dude? The 3 quarterbacks that we have all suck. Russ, Bryce Young, Sam Howell all kind of suck. Trey McBride as our first tight end here. It's rough. What do we got? Well, we're just rating wide receiver cores. Let's see. Garrett Wilson, DK, London, Olave, Ridley, Pickens, Sky. That's probably an A. A-. I think you can only get to A. I think you can only get to A+ if you have Chase or Jefferson. I don't make the rules. I'm sorry. I feel like I need to join new dynasty leagues. Just hyperfixate on the couple that I'm in. Yeah, I think a lot of people will have that issue. I don't think you're alone there. Let's go Likely here. Why not? Maybe he'll give us some spike weeks. All right, so we have 3 more picks. 2 has to be tight end. 1 has to be wide receiver. Okay. And there is absolutely nothing on the board here. Ron Freak in the spreadsheet, Stewart. Hey, that's me. That's what I be doing, bro. Getting after it in the basement, dude. Oh, we're getting after it. Take Jelani and Sam Laporta. I don't mind Jelani. I don't mind Laporta either, but I think that he's getting a lot of steam right now. He's probably absolutely free in these, though. You know any places to join Dynasty Leagues? Not sure if I'm feeling this IDP after hearing your response. Yeah, dude. And look, man, I don't want to yuck your yum, man. So if you join this league and there's like IDP and you're like enthusiastic about it, like go do that. And like I think everybody has their, their preferences when it comes to Dynasty and stuff. But like if I was like brand new, I would want like the most cookie cutter setup ever. You can go to, I have a channel in my Discord. I never promote the Discord, but by the way, like you go to the description, I have a Discord link there. It's free to join. There's like a free section where like all you guys kind of hang out in there. I pop in every now and then. And there's a tab that's called like Find the League. So if you go in there and you like talk, I think that somebody will probably point you in the direction of how, like there's startups happening all the time in that Discord. it shouldn't take you too long to hop in a startup with those guys. But as well, Triple Crown touched on it. You could go to the Patreon and join one through there. Though I haven't done a startup with the patrons this offseason. I've been trying to slow down. It's tough because as a content creator, there's a lot of pressure to like join startups and make sure, that my knives are sharpened. I'm in startups and, I know what the rooms are like, but I'm damn near at my max, guys. I take on any more dynasty teams and I'm just not gonna be able to make trades or really do much. Let's go Jelani. I know somebody was calling for Jelani Woods there. We'll go Jelani. We'll hope that Slayton makes it back to us. Just hanging in the beanbag chair, watching around the 70-inch. Man, I love that. I need Elijah Moore to not be in that Rodgers trade so I can ship him off with the value boost. Dude, I think that he's going to be in that deal, man. I really do. I just have a gut feeling that he's going to be in that trade. I think that the Packers are going to want to put as much weapons and ammo around Jordan Love if they make that trade as possible. Anthony Richardson is a Colt. It's going to happen now. What pick are they picking at? Like 4? That means it's Levis or Richardson, man. It might be Levis, dude. It really might be Levis. Let me see I actually want to look up the new draft order right now. Tankathon. The 2023 NFL draft order. Panthers, Houston, Arizona, Colts. So there's a chance that there are 4 quarterbacks off the board before you even get to the 5th overall pick. Or no, 3 quarterbacks until you get to the 5th overall pick. Somebody might jump up ahead of the Colts and take that Cardinals pick. Or they could bait the Colts into doing the Mitch Trubisky thing where you like trade the house to move up 1 pick. When you're developing models to predict year 1 to 3 fantasy points per game, how do you account for games where players left early with injuries in the data, or do you? Sadly, you just can't really account for that. I try to do my best by using just like purely per game stats. So if a player like leaves with injury and then he's gone for the next 3 games instead of like, hurting him for that, I just use the games that they play in. But if they leave early, it's just kind of baked in. It sucks, but it would just be so hard over a large sample to like, you know what I mean? Like imagine going back to like 2010 and trying to gauge like players leaving games early and stuff. It's very, very hard. How do you feel about Richardson with Steichen? It's a natural fit. Steichen, the Colts guy, the new Colts OC, probably is a natural fit if he sort of has the same. I imagine he was calling plays with the Eagles and Jalen Hurts and stuff. I think that would probably be the ideal situation. It's actually a good point, though, that he comes from that Jalen Hurts offense. But you do wonder if they envision Levis in a similar kind of offense there. I'm trying to look through at what tight ends are the move here. Let's go Cedric Tillman. I think Cedric Tillman's a good bet to be a second-round wide receiver in the NFL draft. I really do. So let's do Cedric Tillman, and then we'll just take a tight end. Maybe Albert O, dude. I might just take Albert O to have some kind of correlation to Russell Wilson. He could get cut, though. I could take Sam Laporta or Luke Musgrave. You guys have any preference between those guys? Yeah, I think Elijah Moore's going to be in the trade too. Colts insiders think that they like Richardson. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm an idiot. Of course he's the head coach because they fired Reich. That's interesting. I still think Levis is in the mix, though, Brock. I know you're going to hate that. I think Levis is in the mix. But I do believe you that Richardson's probably who they're leaning right now. The Colts have to trade up, I think. They might have to, dude. They might have to, or they might just be left picking, the fourth quarterback between the big four. Yeah, I agree. I would see if I could maybe, like, Brock, if you're the Colts, what are you paying to make sure you get that third overall pick to secure, Richardson, if that's your guy? Do you give a second to move up there? I'm trying to think of, like, what was the Mitch. I got to look up what the Mitch Trubisky trade was. So Chicago gave up. They gave up their numbers. They go up to the number 2 pick. They gave up their number 3, their number 67. They gave up a second, a fourth, and a third in the following year. I thought like just second would be like reasonable. That's crazy. I know you said that Bijan at 1 is a no-brainer, and I agree. But I saw Ray GQ saying if Richardson goes super high, let's say 3, you have to consider that. It really depends on where his startup ADP is. I like Ray GQ. I think that he knows what he's talking about when it comes to film, and I think that he's very opinionated. I think what it comes down to with Anthony Richardson is if you're taking the 101, if you have the 101, and let's say startup ADP by the time we get down there towards rookie draft season, if Bijan's going at the 112, and Richardson, Bryce Young is kind of in like a bunch of like 211, 212, 210, I would just rather take the highest startup value ADP instead of like address a need at quarterback or something. I personally wouldn't consider it. Bijan's been locked in there forever. Unless if somehow startup ADP had him like also as a top 12 pick, which I don't think there's any way or any shape, any scenario where Anthony Richardson is up there. And I've been screaming at the top of my lungs saying that Anthony Richardson is undervalued. I think that guys, I know Ray GQ's up there. I know Anthony Amico, the guy who runs the Established to Run Dynasty stuff, they're pushing for 101. I think it's one thing to say 101. I think it's another to actually be on the clock and take him 101. I'm not taking that loss, even if I, need a quarterback and don't need Bijan. I'm going to take whoever has the highest startup value and then move back from there. It's just kind of how I play. I think it's probably bad to use 101 and reach on a guy just because like you're excited about him, if that makes sense. You said too many damn game logs to go through. I hear you. The vids from this week explain your models were awesome. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I think the tight end one's going to come out on Sunday. I think the thing is with RBs not having any value is really just that the running backs suck right now. Like Bijan could, like if Bijan comes out here and puts up like a top 3 RB season or like 20 points per game, there's a very good chance that Bijan is like considered in that Jamar Chase Jefferson tier. It's really just that running backs have sucked recently. That's really what it is. Or if they're good, they've been old. So, the dynasty market changes constantly. Like quarterbacks weren't going as high as they are in startups right now. Like 2-3 years ago. Same thing can be said about running backs. Running backs used to go way earlier. It's constantly changing. I'll answer a couple more here and then I gotta run, fellas. We got undrafted in here. Which quarterbacks fit the description of Konami code? It's a bunch of thresholds, but it's pretty much just how many rushing yards they accounted for in college, along with how many rush attempts they accounted for. So guys who are rushing for a ton of yards and then also rushing often. Because honestly, rushing in the NFL, I've talked about this before, but like rushing at quarterback in terms of Konami stuff, it's much more tendency than it is athleticism, right? Andrew Luck and Cam Newton, if you look at their combine side by side, same guy. 6'4", 250 pounds, run a 4.6. But Andrew Luck is a pocket passer. I mean, he's mobile, but he's going to sit in the pocket, throw passes. Cam Newton, on the other hand, same athleticism, but he's going to go out there and put up 10-plus rushing touchdowns. I think he might have the record for most rushing touchdowns as a quarterback, something crazy like that. So it's not so much athleticism as it is tendency. You want a guy that was running a ton in college. Usually it'll translate. They have to be a little bit athletic. Like I think Baker sort of ran into that where Johnny Manziel too, both guys who were really mobile in college but not athletic, so they got to the NFL. You have those big athletes on the defensive side kind of chasing them down all the time. So you do need them to be athletic, but yeah, it is largely a tendency thing. What else we got in here? Not much. All right, fellas. It's Friday night. I hope you all have a good night. We had crazy news today with the first overall pick getting traded. We're finally getting into the thick of things. It's going to be crazy next week. I think that free agency is going to kind of start up here. We're going to see maybe the Rodgers trade happen. Apparently, I saw some whispers on Twitter that 15th is the date to look out for in terms of Rodgers news. Lot going on here. We're going to have plenty of content. We should have a video Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all of that. No video tomorrow. I'm working on the Dynasty rankings behind the scenes on the Patreon. As always, I love you guys. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.